Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. Okay, so before we start, let recite Al-Fatihah first.
Untuk bayi buruk. Tak tajam. Otak tu tak tajam. Boleh potong anu tu.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. First of all, thank you for coming. Terima kasih sebab datang ke sesi sembang santai kita kali ini. So, macam semua orang tahu, so tajuk kita hari ni, Aku Pencinta Wanita. So, maybe yang datang hari ni dia macam terfikir lah, like aku pencinta wanita ni pasal apa? Maybe nak cakap pasal lelaki yang fall in love in woman ke, ataupun nak cakap like pasal wanita itu sendiri. So, kalau nak tahu, of course korang kena stay sampai habis session ni. So, before we start, kita kena kenal dulu dengan panelis kita. Yang ni, yang comel-comel ni, kita ada Madam Mahani. Okay, korang mesti kenal kan Madam Mahani kan? Mesti kenal kan? Okay. So, Madam Mahani ajar EAW kan, Madam? Yes. EAW dekat course. And then this is Brother Haiz.
Madam Haiz.
Bukan Madam, bro. Bro Haiz Sokhini, biotech student, 4th year. Kan? Okay.
Borak macam member.
Okay, so kita nak cakap pencinta wanita ni, of course one of role yang kita boleh ambil contoh is Rasulullah tu sendiri. Sebab Rasulullah tu dia sangat letak perempuan ni dekat tempat yang tinggi. Macam dalam Islam, perempuan bukan dekat bawah-bawah kan. So kita tahu perempuan ni sangat berharga. Macam orang cakap mutiara dalam agama itu adalah wanita. Okay. So my first question untuk Madam, like boleh tak Madam macam cerita sedikit pasal mengenai kedudukan wanita itu dalam Islam? Apa yang
Do I really need to use this?
Yes.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Why are you laughing? Okay, and first of all, I would like to thank our chairperson, Miss Shafaw. Yeah, so I was wondering, how do you pronounce the name? Shafaw or Shafaw? Shafaw. So today I found out Shafaw. Okay, and secondly, I would like to thank my agent, brother Muaz, right, for making me infamous for a while on my Facebook. Thank you very much. Okay, so actually, I was really shocked when I first received it. Actually, Anna sent me 3 messages. The first one was just like, Madam, I would like for you to be this panelist for Sembang Santai, and the topic is Aku Pencinta Wanita. And I said, what? Aku Pencinta Wanita? At that time, she did not mention Haiz was in it. So I said, am I supposed to talk about lesbianism or what? So that's what my first reaction. And then I forgot for about 2 days, right? And then finally she contacted me again, and then she said, oh okay now. Oh okay, when I saw Haiz's name, I said, she's talking about Haiz. Okay, so it's more likely lah kan, because aku seorang pencinta wanita because he's a man. Thank God he doesn't like men, okay? So otherwise, what a waste. So anyway, so joke aside, so let's get serious here. And I guess when you talk about prophet as the role model, right, for Aku Pencinta Wanita, so I think the prophet was the most perfect human being, sinless, maksum. So he should be taken as the role model when we want to do anything in this life. So don't take any other model like Batman or Cicak Man or Beruang Keluang Man or whatever. Yeah? We have prophet to begin with. So especially when it comes to love and marriage and whatnot. Yeah, the prophet was good in everything. He was the leader. He was a father, a great husband, great companion and everything. But since today the topic is Aku Cinta Wanita, so we focus on how the prophet deal with women, particularly with his wives. Yeah, so before that, I think we should try to at least know who are the wives. And I don't even know except for Khadijah and Aisha. So if not because of this topic, I would not go read about it either. So now, maybe we can share who are the wives. Who knows all the 12 women who used to be married to the Prophet? Nobody, right? So nobody. So I can tell you who they are. Okay, the first one, of course, is Khadijah binti Khuwailid. It's bothering me. All right. And then Saudah Zama'ah. And then we have Aisyah Abu Bakar, Hafsah Umar, Zainab Khuzaimah, Salamah or Hind Utbah, Hindun. In Malay we say Hindun, we don't say Hind. And Zainab binti Jash, Juwairiyah Al-Harith, Safiyah Huyai, Habibah Ramlah, Maria Shaman, and Maimunah Al-Harith. How many of you know all this? Not many, huh? Not even me. So there you go, yeah? He married to 12 women, I guess not at the same time. So don't get too excited, brothers. You cannot marry 12. The most you can is 4. But I tell you, having one wife is a headache enough. Okay? So don't even imagine that you want to have 2, 3, or 4. One is enough if you can find one. So,
Deep ayat dia.
if you can find one first, and then you can move on to the next and the next and the next, right? So, since we're talking about Aku Pencinta Wanita as the prophet, so this is also a good lesson for all of you men who would like to be married someday, inshallah. And the prophet, being so busy with everything in the world, and he still had time for women. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, he said that he loves 3 things in life. Number 1 is salat, right? Number 2 is women. Number 3 is perfume. Am I wrong? I'm not an ustazah. Please correct me, okay? I know some of you are hafiz and hafizah and whatnot. But I'm a secular person. So I don't know much about religion except that I'm learning. Alright. And then I accidentally stumbled upon this person who called himself an ex-Muslim. He was belittling the Prophet. He said that the Prophet loved women, food, and perfume. There was no mentioning of food. The Prophet did not even eat twice in a row with full stomach. How can this guy put that as food? Anyway, as a man, as a husband, he was really sensitive towards the feeling of women. Yeah, and one of the example is that he used to tell Aisha that he said, I know when you're mad at me and I know when you're pleased with me. So when Aisha was mad at the Prophet, she would say something, by the God of Ibrahim. But when she was pleased with him, she said, by the God of Muhammad. So he was so sensitive towards the feeling of women, he could even tell that. Yeah, he was so sensitive. And how many of husbands today know the feelings of the wives? I guess you guys don't know because you're not married. So when you are married, make sure that you have the sensitivity to know your wives. Or your wife. Sorry, not wives. Wife. Okay. And then the Prophet also understand the jealousy of women. Women by nature are very jealous. Yeah. So I don't know if any of these girls here are not jealous. Are you jealous, girls?
No.
No. And I'm quite jealous, but I don't really show it. But I am jealous. Yeah. Okay. And then he. At one time, I think there was an incident where Salamah brought a dish, right? And then Aisha saw that. She brought the dish for the prophets and the companions, and Aisha saw that and she broke the container. And the Prophet, knowing that women are jealous, he just took whatever that was left over and he ate it and gave some to the friends. And he said, oh, this is just the jealousy of the women, so made nothing out of it. So that's what you should do, people. Don't be too jealous. Yeah, and the women don't be too jealous. And the men should understand the jealousy of the women. Yeah. Okay. And then the next one, he also understood the nature of women. Because in Islam it says that the women are made of the most crooked of the rib, right? And if you try to straighten the rib in a haste manner, and then the rib will break. If you leave it like that, the women are just going to be crooked until she dies. Okay, so as a husband, you should learn that you should teach your wife or advise or love your wife, and try to advise her in the best manner possible. Don't be too harsh and don't be too loose, like you don't care about your wife. Okay, and if they go out doing sinful things, and then you say, oh, it's okay, yeah, it's in the 2000 now, nobody cares, and the women have the right. No, yeah, you should advise your wife. And then he also demonstrated love and loyalty. Love, of course, to Aisha, yeah, because he really loved Aisha. He even declared the fact that he loved Aisha, but he was very loyal to Khadijah. Yeah, he was married for 25 years. Okay, he was monogamous. He did not practice polygamy until Khadijah was dead. So if you guys want to even think about polygamy, wait till your first wife dies. Okay, don't you dare. Unless if there's some reason that you cannot avoid, like your wife is sick or something like that, cannot do anything anymore, and then you can have the second wife. And don't have a second wife because you say that men can do so, right? So be loyal to the first wife if you really want to follow the sunnah. Don't say that you want to have sunnah but you're not really following it. You will end up following sunnah babi rather than sunnah nabi. Yeah, sunnah babi, and then you marry, you have children, you leave the wife, you marry another one, have children, you leave. That's what babi do, right?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, you get the picture. So you get the picture, right? Okay, and he was also so very romantic. If you want the role model of a romantic man, yeah, you have to take the Prophet. Not Brad Pitt or what's his other guy's names, Clooney or this and that. None of those. Yeah, the Prophet. And Aisha narrated a hadith, like said, when she was drinking from a cup, the Prophet drank from the same place where she put her lips. So now, I guess when people are boyfriend, girlfriend, they share straws. But when they're married, they don't even want to share a kettle. They have their own kettle. Yeah, you have your own pot and I have my own pot. Don't touch it. Alright, so that's terrible. So follow the Prophet. And Aisha one day, I think, ate a piece of meat. And the Prophet bit where Aisha bit the meat also. So that's how romantic the Prophet was. So if you want to be romantic, I think you should learn from the Prophet. Yeah, not from the kafir. Alright, what else? And he was also, what do you call that? He played, yeah, he ran around with the wife and things like that. So once you're married, don't be shy to hold your wife's hand. Don't hold her hand when you are coupling. Yeah, might as well hold babi. It's better. Yeah, touch the pig. It's better than holding your girlfriend's hand. Isn't that right in Islam? So once you get married, then you can hold her all you want. Yeah, and unfortunately in Malaysia, when you do that, when you're husband and wife, people look at you funny. But they expect for you to do that when you are coupling. Isn't that sad? It is sad, right? Okay. And you have to treat your wife fairly, even when you are angry at her. And you have to think of something good. You know, there must be something good about the person. Otherwise, why would you marry her in the first place? Right? And all of a sudden, after 5 years of marriage, you see all the bad things about the woman. Yeah, after she becomes like, what was that Haiz? When we went to see the conference, it said, what is the difference between a girlfriend and a wife? About 25 kgs. So just because she becomes so fat that you don't love her anymore, that is not right. Yeah. So, all right. So even if you're mad at your wife, make sure that you think of something that is good about her. Otherwise, you are worse than her because you're marrying the wrong person. Okay. And then you also give presents to your wife or to your wife's friends. That's what the Prophet did. And 1 minute is over, man. Okay. In that case, I leave it to our what? Shafaw. Thank you very much. I have a few more, but okay. Now we have to stop. Thank you very much.
Thank you madam for the sharing. So macam madam cakap tadi, kita kena be nice. Bukan kita brothers, kena be nice to wife. So okay. Okay, next Brother Haiz yang macam nampak excited sangat nak jawab soalan dia ni. Okay, sebab dia pernah cakap yang aku macam tak ustaz je nak jawab soalan ni kan, tapi jawab jugalah kan. Okay, so kita tahu the problem with our society right now, banyak sangat orang pakai tudung tapi they are not covering their aura properly. That's the problem we face right now lah. Okay, so Haiz, boleh tak macam komen sikit apa like komen dekat sister yang tutup aurat tapi dia tak tutup dengan properly. Okay.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh semua.
Salam.
Terima kasih kepada moderator dan pendapat daripada Madam Mahani ni. Okay. Saya pun tak sangka dapat tajuk ni sebenarnya. Macam tak layak je cakap kan. Sebab memang tak ustaz pun. So dapat tanya soalan pasal aurat pula tu. Okay, but I will not be munafik kan. I will be honest as a man, as a college student. I will tell you that honestly, we men, kita orang suka tengok korang tak pakai tudung, kita orang suka tengok korang tak ni. Yeah, honestly kan, that is theory, macam you have to respect women. Korang kena treat women dengan macam a queen apa semua. But of course, you can try untuk nak avoid your ni, menurunkan pandangan apa semua. But honestly, kita suka tengok, betul? And I'm not going to nak cakap macam kita sentiasa menurunkan pandangan. Of course, yeah, well, they are all our acting. Bukan nak mempukul rata semua. Ada sudut-sudut yang memang bagus, macam Abang SRC kita ni, depan saya semua bagus. Saya je lah yang tak ni. See? And that is the ideal community lah, the ideal community where men actually avert their eyes when they see women. So that's the thing, because well, even if you don't want to look at women macam tengok kan, macam kau pernah duduk kat kedai mamak kan, bila duduk lepas tu tiba ada awak masuk kan, tengok kepala lelaki. Kan? Jangan tengok perempuan tu, tengok kepala lelaki semua. Mengikut mata. So sometimes even if you don't want to look at it macam lelaki ni kan, you eventually do because it's circumstance kan. Bukannya you duduk ni, even dekat UIA is just because we have this thing called bi'ah solehah. So alhamdulillah kita punya sister-sister di sini menutup semua aurat dia kan. Alhamdulillah semua. So tepuk tangan lah untuk sister-sister di UIA. Untuk kan, tapi kita duduk dalam realiti ni, kita duduk dalam TV Al-Hijrah. Kan? Kita student duduk, kita UIA ni duduk dalam TV Al-Hijrah. Kita belum keluar pergi tengok TV3, pergi tengok Astro semua kan. Itu kat situ realiti dia. When you go to work nanti kan, so you will eventually see this. No, of course you see this. Kau pergi mamak pun tengok kan. Tipu lah. So yes, I even dulu Hello? Dengar tak? Okay. To the point of, I want to emphasize lagi pasal benda ni. To the point of, I followed on Instagram Imam Aimbom, right? And then, bila dia start pakai tudung, I unfollowed her. That's to that point now. So this is being, I'm honest. Okay, I'm sorry if some people might shun my opinion. Okay, now that's itu macam the honest opinion. That was like, you have theory, you have practical, and you have, now I'm talking about reality lah. Okay, but to those yang hello. Okay, but I will now cakap pasal, now in all seriousness lah, pasal aurat, menutup aurat ni. Well, you can talk about macam ada perempuan yang pakai tudung tapi dia tak perfect, lepas tu dia pakai macam ketat sikit or anything macam tu. But you have to understand that but what you might think of as macam, she's not covering properly, that's probably her first step. Most probably sebelum ni dia pakai lengan pendek, dia tak pakai tudung pun apa semua, and then she starts actually wearing the headscarf. It's not perfect, tapi you have to acknowledge that that's the first step, betul tak? And this is the more lenient punya point of view lah. You should not judge. Of course, if you are covered, as most of our sisters here are covered properly semua, from head to toe, alhamdulillah. But kalau untuk yang the ones who are starting out, of course you just, what the hell lah kau pakai macam ni? Tak Islamik langsung. This is not Aisyah, this is not Khadijah. You're not too. And you can't say that to untuk perempuan yang ni. But at the same time, saya tak nak juga berikan satu pendapat yang very loose. It's very clear. You have to cover up. You have to cover up from your head to toe. Okay, I would not go into the fiqh all that stuff. But yes, you have to cover up, whether you like it or not. And kalau bukan sekarang, bila lagi nak pakai tudung? Bila lagi nak cover betul-betul? Even though we men, okay, let's say 50% of the men love watching you hanging loose here and there. But the truth is, you have to cover up because you're a Muslim. Well, and that's what makes a Muslim woman the queen. Saya tak faham juga kenapa woman is a queen in Muslim world. Tak tahu lah. Saya queen, mak saya je. Okay. Should I elaborate more on this, or is it very clear on the aurat punya ni? I gave my honest opinion. Is that it? Should we proceed? Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you bro Haiz, sangat honest punya opinion. Macam apa, tengok kedai mamak mesti selalu buat ni. Ada orang masuk kedai mamak je, kepala dia dulu pusing kan. Dia dulu lepas ni boleh tengok Okay, so next question about feminism. We know that sekarang ni feminism macam sisi Islam diorang minta banyak sangat. Macam ni hak perempuan, ni hak perempuan, ni hak perempuan. Sedangkan tu bukan hak diorang pun. Macam diorang fight for something yang bukan hak diorang. Kan macam tu. So madam so madam boleh tak macam share something about feminism. Apa sebenarnya ni feminism ni?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. About feminism. Okay, so what is my opinion on the rise of feminism in Malaysia or in the world? It depends. Yeah. But before we talk about what is my opinion, we have to know what is feminism first. So the definition of feminism is a range of movements or ideologies that share a common goal. So what is the common goal? Actually, the common goal of feminism is to define, establish, and achieve equal political, economic, cultural, personal, and social rights for women. So the original idea of feminism is great, is noble. So, but somehow along the way, it loses the focus. So I guess we have to talk about the three main phases of the feminism. The feminism supposed to have three phases. So the first one was in the 1800s or the 19th century, and the first I think the early 20th century or something like that. At that time, the concern of the women were just to get the right to vote. I don't know for whatever reason that they want to vote. It's not like they could vote women at that time. They had to vote men, but for them at that time, it was important to vote. But for me, to tell the truth, I'm 52 years old this year, inshallah, next month. So I only voted once in my life so far. So I don't know what went wrong, but I just voted once. But don't follow me, that's not good, okay? So you must vote. But because these women have gone through this phase of fighting for the vote. The second phase was associated more with the social and cultural inequalities. Because women, after they got into the political rights to vote and all those things, and they wanted to do with the cultural and the social part of it, because they want women to be equal as men. So anything that sort of symbolize oppression or men oppressing women, such as wearing girdles, bra, even wearing makeup, and in that second phase, women threw away all anything that symbolizes being oppressed by women. So they went around braless. That was in the 1960s. So we don't want to do that, girls, okay? So and that is the second wave. But the third wave started, so because these women, they say that we do not want women to be an object. Yeah, because you're supposed to portray your brain rather than your body. So that was the second movement, which is what Islam also teaches us. We are not an object. Yeah, especially we are not a sex object. Okay, that's part of the reason why you have to cover your aurat, so that you will be taken seriously. So people don't look at your body, they look at your mind also. Yeah, they take you seriously. Okay, and then the third wave is a continuation or reaction to the second wave. Some women think that, oh, these people are so they're not happy with what happened on the second wave, and they say that we can be women, we can use our body to gain whatever that we can gain. Yeah, they say that it's okay to wear push-up bra and things like that, and we can still have our brain at the same time. So that's what happened to people like Beyonce and people like J-Lo, showing their body. They say that is a symbol to empower women. It's our body. Come on, girls, you can do whatever you like. Show it. Yeah. So it's our body. So they forget that men out there are always waiting, like Haiz said. Yeah. They don't want to look at people who are wearing long jubah and all those drab colors. They want to look at people who are, what did you say, Haiz? Loose? Yeah, everything that is menggerbang-gerbang, ya, sana sini. And then that's reality. Men like that. So Allah sent that or made us wear that is for our protection. Yeah, not to oppress us. Do you feel oppressed, people, when you're wearing tudung? No. Do you feel oppressed? And we're trying to cover our aurat, right? Not to wrap our body. Yeah, wrapping and covering is different. Alright, so that is the third movement. So unfortunately, now, because of this third movement, there are some women who are anti the third wave of feminism. They say that the second one was actually a better one because it was more equal and things like that, rather than the third one is like you're falling backward. You're using your body to attract men and things like that, even though you feel like you are liberating yourself, but you're not. Okay? And in fact, if you go online, you can see this site where Women Against Feminism. There is a Facebook. In the Facebook, the what you call it? What do you call that? The explanation of the group is like Women's Voice Against Modern Feminism and its Toxic Culture. Yeah, and they say that we don't need feminism because there is no problem actually. They say so. People are really confused. I think women are confused. That's what it is. You know, some of us are confused because if we don't go back to Islam, so we are not going to be satisfied until the doomsday. Because Allah knows His creation, that's why He sent us the manual that we have to follow. We have to do this, we don't have to follow that, and things like that. So if we buy something and then we don't follow what the manual says, at the end we are going to spoil the machine, right? So it's the same thing. If we don't follow the manual that has been sent by Allah to us, the do's and the don'ts, we are going to destroy ourselves. We are the machines. So that is what is happening. Unfortunately, due to some weaknesses of Muslim men, okay, listen up, Muslim men, you are giving the wrong impression to the women. Not you, maybe they, okay? Not people in this room. These people in this room are angels, okay? You are angels, people. And the men out there, including the ustaz, yeah, they're not telling the right one, I guess. And some of the like of sisters in Islam, they are attacking Islam rather than the Muslim men. We should attack the Muslim men, not Islam. Islam is perfect. But Muslim men are not, because they are men. They are human. So maybe, my point of view, feminism in a way is good if it really uplifts the status of women. It's not that we need it, because Islam already uplifted the status of women. That's why the Prophet was sent. One of the ways is to be the, what's the word? to the whole world?
Rahmatan.
Yes, as a rahmat to the whole world, right? Especially to women, because in the dark ages of Europe, you are lucky because you don't have to study the world history. When I was in high school, I studied the world history and we were learning about these dark ages. I thought the whole world was dark at that time. But apparently only in Europe, only the female in Europe were in the dark age. But actually that coincides with the height of Islam. The Islamic civilization was at the greatest height at that time. And they were having the dark ages. And I was thinking that we were all having dark ages. So that was how bad secularism was when I was studying. Okay? So anyway, where was I? Now I'm meandering God knows where. What was I about, Muaz?
What's your opinion about?
Yeah, about my opinion. Yes, I think we really have to educate men, especially young men, and educate the ustaz to bring back the true Islamic teaching and things like that. Otherwise, people like Irshad Manji and Marina Mahadi, can I name names? They will sue me probably. But they are attacking Islam. They say that Islam is not fair because of the Faraid system. Men get more and women get less. Men get more, but they have to spend a lot more, and we have less, but we get the whole thing. So Islam is fair. So a lot of people don't know that. They don't understand. That's why we have to learn about our religion. So if we don't understand, we just follow the West, and we are going to be lost, and we'll be back to the dark ages just like them. Okay, so how much time do I have? That's it. Alright, so I think that is my point of view on feminism. If it is for the betterment of women to uphold the status, yes, I'm for it. But if it means to attack Islam, no, because we have our perfect manual to follow. Yeah, and we have the perfect model. For male, we have the Prophet, and for female, we have Aisyah and Khadijah and whatnot. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mahani. So, kita patut follow Al-Quran. So that, sebab kita dalam Al-Quran tu dia dah cakap like this is right for women, this is what men should do. Kalau kita follow, there should be no problem dalam hidup kita kan. Okay, the last question untuk Haiz. Bila kita dah masuk like 20, macam kita semua ni, benda kita fikir is kahwin. Macam kahwin, tak ada partner, tak ada siapa nak, macam tu lah. So orang panggil ni like Haiz lah. Okay, macam ni lah. Okay, so like ada terms like relationship goal. Orang sekarang duk kata like apa relationship goal kita. Sedangkan muda lagi, 20 tahun baru kan, tapi dah fikir semua benda ni. So Haiz, what your opinion dekat orang yang dia still study tapi dia sibuk nak bercinta juga?
Alright, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Anda bersama saya. Okay. Again, I will give my another honest opinion on this, regarding this. Aku lupa nak cakap. Okay. Jadi, if you have seen Ra'o, this is a quote I like to quote many times. Dalam satu negara, ada 3 benda yang menjatuhkan negara: rasuah, tidak menanti masa, dan ketiga adalah cinggir. Cinggir tu awet lah kan, perempuan. Dan ini adalah memang benar kan. Kalau masa zaman Salda nak AUB tu, dia nak pilih dia punya tentera tu. Tengok kalau lelaki tu malam-malam nangis sebab perempuan, ni lingkup lah aku punya tentera ni. Kalau dia malam dia bersedih disebabkan dosa-dosa dia, barulah boleh menang ni the army kan. Alamak. Okay, first I will give you my what you should do if you have these feelings. First, amputate it. Kill those feelings. Don't lie to yourself lah. Okay, I'll give you the anatomy of how a guy approaches a girl. Okay, let's say you just got into university, your first year. Macam masuk, boom, awet, bersepah, mengecik kan. So tengok semua kan, jangan tipu lah. Okay, ni semua lelaki punya ni. And then you start with you see your batchmates lah. Dia ni cun lah. Ni cun apa semua. And then you know syaitan, they don't do the work. It's like it's usually zail. You know, it's you don't really get into macam you're on a straight path. You don't get to on the highway to hell. Tiba-tiba macam you get belok tau. It's usually macam sikit kan. And then you don't know where you are lah on that road of life. Usually it starts with mula-mula, hey, let's have a meeting lah for our group discussion. And then there you are sitting, and then you're konon study, and then you're actually looking at the face. Chundo. And then, what was I talking about? Crab cycle eh? Oh, okay. Oh yeah. See, it always start like that. Jangan tipu lah, kan? You enjoy your group discussions, and then the next week, and then you say, assignment you dah hantar belum? Oh, I tak siap lagi lah. Boleh tak hantar sekejap kita punya ni? Let's exchange assignments lah apa. And then usually you exchange assignments. It's not usually pukul 2 petang, pukul 3 petang. You exchange assignments pukul 11 malam bila nak besok nak hantar, betul tak? So macam, ngantuk lah. You ngantuk ke? Lapar tak? Tak lapar. Semua. Air sejuk lah. It starts like that, you know. Benda tu macam ni. I've been through that. And it's... No, everybody of you have been through that. Don't lie lah. And you've been through that. It's very typical. And if you think you can outsmart syaitan, who are you kidding lah? Kan, you will lose lah. You will lose this fight. So, and then after that start texting, and then you say, let's have lunch, let's have breakfast. You start getting cozy. Yeah? You start getting cozy, you start getting, and then perempuan, the thing about perempuan, lelaki ni baik lah, pakai jubah, pergi semayang saya dekat surau. Ingat pergi semayang surau tu ni sama dengan lah, bukanlah insyaAllah Allah will give you protection more bagi orang-orang yang solat ni apa semua kan. Memang I believe it's true, but this is a fitnah dunia dalam, especially in university where everybody is mixed up apa semua kan. And you will eventually let's have breakfast, let's have dinner, let's have ni, and then you start texting, and then your feelings develop. So one of you might be reading the wrong signals, or maybe it's the right signal. So it starts like that, and then you start going out. Let's get East Coast Mall. Martian baru keluar, cerita baik tu. And itu cerita dia. Lepas tu lama-lama, let's go makan, let's get ni. And then, okay, here's the really, I really hate this part, because usually, because dalam UIA kan, you tend to kind of justify all your actions. You say that, it's okay, budak-budak UM kat sana luar diorang pegang-pegang tangan. Kita kat sini UIA mana ada? We are just going for a meeting kat sini. I'm not saying it's wrong, I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'm saying you should be aware of this. This is actually happening. No, there's nothing wrong of you going for a meeting ni, but beware, because men are hunters. We are always on the hunt, kan? So lama-lama, and then couple. Okay, you've been through that phase of infatuation, apa semua, and then you want to jump into justifying all that thing. You want to be a man, lelaki ni, and then you cakap, finally, young, let's get married. After all that dates, after all that holding hands, masa orang tak nampak lah kan. And so after all of that, tiba-tiba, and then you want to get married. So you're trying to justify everything you do, macam you have a clean slate, nak cuci semua, let's get married, apa semua. You really think that would work, and you really think that it won't haunt you back bila-bila nanti? Or if you don't end up with that person, and then you meet another girl, and you're being totally unjust at your future wife. See, all of that comes into account. So this is I would say, my suggestion untuk semua sebenarnya. If you have those feelings, and especially you have that one particular girl you're actually into, you have to amputate those feelings. You have to kill them. Matikanlah benda tu. Ini kata-kata Omar Sulaiman. Amputate your feelings before it starts growing like a cancer in your heart. stop. Just stop there. Just stop talking to her. You have to minimize contact, everything, because that's actually, well, if you say you love her and then you just keluar sini sana apa semua, it doesn't really make any sense at all. So kill your feelings dulu. And you talk about nak kahwin kan, dia kata memang tak perlu ada banyak duit apa semua, but you would actually know when you're ready kan. You're ready when you're ready, baru macam let's meet bapak dia apa semua. Itu baru betul. Ni bukannya kita macam, oh, I want to justify all my dates apa semua and then so let's get married. No. See, you can't outsmart Syaitan. He will eventually say, I will play your game. Okay? So, it's saja. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.
Thanks Haiz. Okay, sangat banyak. Apa yang tadi perkataan cinta? Oh? Cinggir. Okay, first time dengar kot.
Cibai.
Okay, so apa yang Haiz cakap tu memang betul lah kan. So kita, especially perempuan, jangan cepat perasan, and then lelaki jangan memainkan. Okay, tu sebenarnya kan, baru benda ni tak terjadi. So kita akan buka session questions. Ada tak audience yang nak tanya apa-apa soalan? Ada tak? Boleh je tanya, tak apa-apa. Brother Tash nak tanya ke? Ada tak orang nak tanya apa-apa? Boleh je tanya. Semua orang tak tanya ke?
Dia bukan nak tanya, dia nak macam nak share pendapat, so nak mungkin buat panelis jawab. Okay, saya sekolah biasa lah. Sekolah orang cakap sekolah tak ada agama dah. Mana sekolah agama, MRSL, SBI, saya sekolah biasa, besar. So nampaklah Cina, Melayu, India. So sekarang ni bila mungkin jadi trend lah budak zaman sekarang, couple tu benda biasa lah saya kata macam. So bagi saya sendiri, saya tak tahu couple tu haram tau. Sampai saya terlanjurkan. Bukan, sampai saya masuk UIA, bos saya tahu couple tu haram. So bila kita environment kita kat sekolah kan, bila nak orang couple benda biasa tau. Even kita sendiri pun pernah. Gitu. Lepas tu bila sekarang ni saya nak persoalkan, apa yang patut kita buat, pihak universiti ke, student mahasiswa ke, yang kita boleh buat agar nak, kalau kita bukan nak menterbalikkan benda ni, tapi kita nak making kita, macam buat masa tu lebih baik. Satu hari mungkin kita buat tak apa-apa, tapi kita boleh ubah benda ni. Nak ubah macam mana? Kita mahasiswa nak ubah macam mana? Macam tu. Haiz lah.
As for me, saya fikir macam, dulu kan, masa zaman sebelum rokok diharamkan kan, you had this idea that the reason orang isap rokok, honestly bukanlah, it's not really because of the nicotine or the tobacco kan, but it's because kau tengok dekat TV, dude, it's cool isap rokok kan. Marlboro Man, dia naik atas kuda, isap rokok. Dia bawa kereta mahal, isap rokok. Aku bercita-cita nak isap rokok. Nak beli BMW warna putih, nanti suruh duduk tepi isap rokok. Cool gila kan. Okay, itu cara. And then after a while, masuk the 1990s, semua orang dah jadi macam very health conscious. Orang cakap sebab polisi meletakkan macam they demonize cigaretnya company. So that's probably what we need dalam ni, tapi macam it's not being done enough dalam nahi mungkar, part ni lah. So because you don't put a stupid label on it, you don't label couple as macam, oh, it's haram, this will kill you, it's very very bad, and so we have to make that macam ada tanggapan ni macam, dude, couple tak cool though. Itu yang kita kena ada bila macam you have to put that label lah. But come on lah, bercinta best kan. Itu lah susah tu. So itu kena bagi ahli-ahli politik ni yang fikir macam mana nak buat benda tu.
So Tash lah yang kena fikir macam mana. Tak nak lagi coupling. Apa tadi? Couple tak cool. So boleh lah lepas Sciences buat program couple tak cool. Okay, so any conclusion from madam?
Soalan.
Soalan Muaz, I don't know, because I never had any boyfriend until I was 25 That was the first and only, and I got married. And I guess I was lucky. And I don't know what to compare it to and things like that. I guess Haiz is right in a way. So how to demonize this coupling? So I also don't know. Maybe we all have to think of it and get some ustaz or whatever and brainstorm how to do that. Maybe yeah, that sounds like a good campaign to have. So our touch is thinking about it already. I can see. Yes. Yeah, and then you might think that kalau tak bercinta masa belajar ni, bila pula nak jumpa? Right. And then some of you might have that thought. I met with my husband now when I was doing my master's degree. I didn't have anybody when I was in my first degree studies. So my mind when I went to the US was to study, get the degree, come back, get a job, get married. So in that order. So somehow I found him, I guess. So I still graduated and then came home. Yeah, I got a job and I got married. So I think if you girls know somebody that you like, so you can follow what Khadijah did. So you don't have to go coupling, but you can send somebody to talk on your behalf. So jangan peduli lah when people say that pergi cari timba lah. There's no such thing. Actually, we have the model from Siti Khadijah. There's no such thing as pergi cari timba. If people say that to you, say, hey, I'm a portable perigi, okay? Yeah. So today, like we have portable pool, right? So you can have portable well. So you can be that portable well. So don't feel bad about it as long as you're doing something that is not haram. So I think don't worry so much about your jodoh or your partner, life partner and things. If you are meant to be married someday, you are meant to be married. Like my older sister, she got married at the age of 54. So we never thought that she would be married one day because she always like had this notion of marriage is not good. Yeah, she always I don't know, maybe she was anti-man at some point. But I guess because her jodoh was not even born yet. Because she's young. He's young. He's like 20 something. Yeah, difference from my sister. Okay? That's why she did not like men at that time, because her jodoh was not even born. So I think, don't worry so much. If you have a jodoh, you have a jodoh. If you don't, well, what to do?
Respect madam, sister madam.
Yeah, she got married. And then the next year, she retired from her job. So, all right. So don't worry so much, sisters. Okay?
Siapa yang manja?
Ada soalan lah.
Baru-baru dah lama dah. Dia satu video ni viral kat Facebook. Video ni dia buat eksperimen dekat US rasanya. Buat eksperimen pertama tu rasa macam ada yang pernah tengok kan. Laki dan perempuan dia kat tempat khalayak ramai je. And then laki ni buat macam ganas, macam kasar sikit kat perempuan ni. And then bila dia buat macam ni kat orang ramai atau orang-orang yang sekeliling ni, laki perempuan marah kat laki ni. Itu eksperimen pertama. Eksperimen kedua ni tempat yang sama juga tapi hari yang berlainan, perempuan tu pula buat kat laki tu. Dan reaksi orang ramai tak kisah pun benda tu. Jadi berdasarkan benda tu kan, mungkinkah soalan pertama mungkinkah persepsi sekarang ni, masyarakat sekarang ni, sebenarnya perempuan ni dah sama taraf dengan lelaki, ataupun mungkin perempuan ni lebih sikit dari lelaki ke sebenarnya? Pertama. Atau kedua soalan, mungkinkah kebebasan lelaki tu perlu diperjuangkan pula?
So memang rasa tergugat ni, takut sekejap lagi dia pula kena smackdown kan. So Haiz, dia nak jawab soalan ni.
Tertarik dengan soalan tu.
Okay.
Saya ingat hantu video saya tengok 2-3 tahun lepas.
Aku pun nak video.
Video ni can men and women be just friends? Can men and women be just friends? Sekarang soalan tanya pada lelaki. Tanya dengan lelaki tu kan. Kau dengan perempuan ni, can men and women be just friends? Semua lelaki, majoriti lelaki yang cakap dalam video tu kata tak boleh. Perempuan kata boleh. Okay. Lepas tu, bila dia tanya dengan perempuan tu, okay, so do you consider this friend of yours just your friend? Do you think he has any feeling for you? Perempuan tu kata, yes. So you remain friend with him? She said yes. So saya nak tanya sekarang ni, betul ke lelaki ni sebenarnya woman hunter? And betul ke sebenarnya ataupun konsep ni sebenarnya dia sama ke? Perempuan pun dia woman hunter, lelaki woman hunter. Saya tanya pendapat. Kalau boleh Bro Haiz dah jawab soalan ni.
Sebab tak ramai orang nak dia.
So, tapi I can be very sure that yang men are hunters. That is like, dude, it's in your evolution history. Daripada stone age ni, we are hunters. But yes, bagi kecuali lah orang-orang yang beriman yang betul-betul saya ada sangka baik lah dengan orang-orang beriman ni kan. Macam semua depan saya. Alhamdulillah. Tapi tu lah, women being men hunters. Well, they're hunters, but they don't usually they don't hunt the way you do. You hunt like macam baling ni semua. They put traps yang macam you don't even know. Datang kapak dari mana-mana. Itu je. Like,
can men and women be just friends? honest.
Petepung soalan tu. Tak boleh jawab. Okay, mana.
It depends on the man. If you don't have any feelings for women, we have different. We are more attached to emotion. I cannot imagine myself sleeping with just any man. I think men can do that with any women. That's why they can be rapists. I think. Yeah, because men, they don't really attach the mental or the emotion so much. They attach more the physical part of it. That's why women, we have to be more careful. Don't touch men. Because men, once you touch, it's like a sweet ting, the whole thing. Yeah, and they have to follow through. If you get it lah. If you tak faham, nasib lah kan. Because none of you are married here. So based on my 23 years of marriage, I can just hug my husband, nothing happens. But not the other way around. Yeah? So, you know what I mean? Men are more physical. Women attach a lot more emotion. I seriously cannot imagine myself just sleeping with any man if I'm not emotionally attached to him. That is, I'm talking about majority of men, of women. But men, I think you can basically, yeah, you're more physical. That's why you're hunters. Yeah, you're more physical. That is how God made us. That's why we both have to take care of ourselves. So women don't unnecessarily lead the men, and then after you touch this, touch that, no, don't rape me. You know, it doesn't work that way. If you touch, you better take the consequences. But in general, again, there are some men who have no feelings also. I'm not talking about exception. Yeah, we're talking about majority. So I think that's how it is. What was the question? Whether men should go for the fight against your right? I read somewhere. Yeah, they say that men. But come on, be realistic. Let's say that we take two people, man and woman of the same size, same age, yeah, the same ability, whatever. And I think women are weaker, much weaker. Let's say that I cannot fight Haiz. I cannot imagine fighting Fahmi, and I will win. Or Muaz. Yeah, of course, I'm old, right? I'm like twice your age, so or more than twice, 30 years older. And I think when you saw that video, of course, women feel, or human beings feel sorry for the women, because thinking that women are generally physically inferior compared to men. If you just leave it like that, and the man might kill her. Well, on the other hand, if the woman is aggressive to the man, and then they probably think, well, you're a man, use all your man whatever strength, right? Don't tell me you cannot do anything to that woman. That's probably what they're thinking. In general, I think that is true. Yeah, but with a few exceptions. If the woman knows karate, do, or jujutsu, or whatever, they can actually throw you up and stab on you, right? So again, we're talking about exception. That's probably why people don't really care about when women are abused.